Hey everyone, welcome to Two Guys, One Fantasy with your hosts Brandon Kluge and Tyler Richardson, where we give you the most mediocre fantasy football advice, along with NFL news, updates, scores, and standings. Alright, sorry if I scared you guys, that might have been a little loud right off the bat. Welcome to Two Guys, One Fantasy, Week 5. We got your weekend games. What are you doing over there?
I'm happy.
Why?
I watched the worst game in NFL history last night.
Why are you happy about it? Because your team won.
No. I'm just.
Are you happy it's over?
I'm happy it's over.
I
was able to go to bed. It went the worst game this season. Literally went to overtime.
It probably top 5 worst games I've seen, like possibly ever. Because you'll have two sucky teams, and they could still put an entertaining game on.
This was 2 sucky teams with no offense.
Really boring.
If you get 2 sucky teams with no defense, it's fine because they'll score.
Yeah.
No touchdowns.
So the wife, at halftime, she's like, I ain't watching any more of this shit.
Smart.
And she went to bed. And
I
I was
did
like,
that.
I'll crawl into bed and I watch it on my phone. Little did I know that not only were they going to give me a full serving of that horse shit,
Literally.
but they wanted to serve me desserts with overtime with that horse shit as well.
I'm pretty sure everybody was like, please don't go to overtime. We got to the 10 or to the 7 with like 30 seconds left, and I was like, just either score a touchdown or turn the ball over because I wanted to end.
Yeah. It was awful. I mean, we can get into it next week a little bit, but we're going to make it quick because that was so painful to watch.
Yeah, it hurt.
I don't understand how 2 of the best quarterbacks of our generation can look so bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that. I'll blame my thing is the offensive line. So you can tell both of them, they didn't give them time.
So I understand that the O-line has a lot of responsibility to that. I totally agree with that. But, I mean, Matt Ryan and Russell Wilson were throwing bad throws as well.
Yeah.
But we'll get into it next week. Maybe we'll do something a little bit different besides going over the game and just describe how bad it was, like a nightmare.
Yeah, just give it our rating.
Goodness. Moving on to this week, though.
This week, week 5.
Week 5. Is there any news that we need to cover? I just thought of that. We were taking our notes right before, but...
Any big news? Not that I know of.
I'm trying to think. Tua's not playing.
Tua's not.
They found out it probably wasn't his back.
Yeah, probably was a concussion. We talked about that with Tom, though. They fired that guy.
Yeah. I guess the investigation is still ongoing.
Yeah, they're going to, I'm sure, do more stuff. And
yeah.
I think they're going to change the concussion protocols, which
again,
I don't think they have a choice.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I'm sure there's big news that we're totally overlooking.
Probably. But that, you know what?
Hey,
if I see something, I'll call it out.
Yeah. You and I have been, I've had to change my schedule. You're about to possibly be AWOL for the podcast. We're going to try to work it out, but here in about 2-3 weeks, you're going to be gone. Here in about a month, I might be gone. So we'll keep you guys updated.
It might get a little rough.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
We're going to try our best to post episodes. We might have to go down to 1 a week to make it easier on us.
Yeah.
But we'll keep you updated. There might be a possibility where we might not be able to post it all.
Maybe. If anything, you'll see my face by myself, shirtless, and I'll be like, "Hey, welcome to the podcast."
This is two
guys, one fantasy. One fantasy.
It's so stupid. But we'll keep you guys updated. We're going to try our best, but we have work and we have lives, so we'll do our best.
Yeah. You guys don't pay us enough to
You guys don't pay us at all.
Yeah, if you guys start paying, then
I'll quit.
I'll quit my day job.
We'll make it work. But all right, we'll get to. I want you to start off.
Okay.
You want to start off with one of your games?
I will.
All right. First out of 8. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Let me do my picks for the games that we're not covering, so Javi can copy me real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Chargers at Browns. I have the Chargers winning. I think they're starting to get their groove back a little bit. Although the Browns, they're not as terrible as I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, but they did lose to Atlanta. I can't tell who they're going to beat.
I don't think Atlanta is as bad as we thought they were going to be either.
I mean, they're a little better. Yeah.
Yeah. The Browns do have the best running back in the league, though. They got Chubb. Fight me.
Debatable.
Chubb is the best running back in the league.
This year, right now. Yeah.
You could argue he might have been the best in the past few years.
Not last year.
I mean, in general, overall, yes, Jonathan Taylor was the best last year statistically. But in general, in a wide array of time, I think Chubb is, in general, the best. All right, moving on. Chargers over Browns. That's what I got. Houston at Jacksonville. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that. I got the Jags winning. They're both, I think, better than their record kind of shows. But one of them's got to lose. And I think Jacksonville's starting to find that momentum.
Their only loss this year is to, oh no, they have 2.
They're 2-2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But they had a good game against the Eagles.
They did.
So.
Bears at Minnesota. I feel like this is one of the easier ones, Minnesota. Even though they're not playing maybe as well as we thought they would, that they're a better team than Chicago.
Yeah.
Seattle at New Orleans. So
that's a tough one.
I am not jumping on this Geno Smith train. I'm happy for him. I'm glad that he's doing really well. I am not convinced this is going to last throughout the whole season. And the Saints' pass defense is pretty freaking good. So I think it comes crashing down this game. I have the Saints over Seattle.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Miami at New Jersey. Jets.
Teddy Bridgewater, the starter.
I have the Jets winning.
Oh, man.
I know.
I like it.
I just think Miami is a better team, but I think they're going to be a little bit – it's more of going to be a mental thing. With what happened to Tua, they're going to be like, oh, a lot of organizational admin stuff is going to be going on in the background.
Yeah.
I think mentally, I think they're going to be in a different place than they need to, and I think they're going to lose a game they should win. I think the Jets have nothing to lose. They're like, whatever, we'll go out there and we'll do our best.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Miami's like, holy crap, Tua might not ever walk again, and we got coaches that might not care. But, like, it's a mental game, and I think the Jets will take advantage of that.
Okay.
San Fran at Carolina. San Fran. I feel like that's fairly easy as well.
I'd agree, but Jimmy G comes out and plays like trash against trash quarterbacks. So the Panthers might surprise people just because if Jimmy G's playing somebody good, he usually has a decent game.
Yeah.
But if he's playing like a trash team, for some reason, he just plays to the level of the team.
Of that team.
Yeah.
So that's true.
Like the Broncos, they lost to the Broncos 11-10.
Yeah.
Broncos are trash.
11-10.
And then they come out the next week and just don't even let the Rams show up.
Yeah.
And just beat them.
Yeah. Well, so that's true. But I think San Fran overall, even with Jimmy G possibly not showing up for this game, I think the team will carry that load for him.
They should be able to.
Well, because it's not even about a bad quarterback in Carolina. It's Christian McCaffrey did have a good game last week.
Yeah.
I think it was last week. But overall, he's not getting targets. He's not catching. He's not doing great things on the ground. And then the receivers are almost non-existent in Carolina. So I don't think that team, and defensively, they're not very great either.
Yeah.
So despite Jimmy G, if he does come out playing like trash, I think the rest of the team will help win against Carolina.
Don't be surprised if they lose, though.
True. I mean, that could, yeah, I agree. That could go either way, just as a surprise.
Yeah.
I think this week has a full slate of possibly surprise games.
Yeah.
Including this one. Now, Philly at Arizona. I think I do have Philly winning.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona's one of those teams where they look like trash, and all of a sudden, one game, Kyler Murray looks like he's the next freaking great quarterback of all time, and he'll play great. So I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona puts up more of a fight than people think. I do have Philly winning, but I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona won.
Okay.
But that's all I got for the games that we're not covering.
I like it. Before we get into this, standings.
Oh boy, here we go. Yep.
Last week, you went 5-3.
Yeah.
And I went 4-4. So that brings me still in first place.
By one.
At 17-16-1. You're 16-17-1.
Yep.
And then the only guest picker so far we've had on the Sunday games is Walker, so he's still winning by default. Good job, Walker.
This week, for our 8 games that we chose, I can guarantee, hang on, let me look at this lineup real quick. We're probably going to have a difference of opinion on more than half of them.
You say that. I asked my daughter to pick.
You did.
The games this week, so we'll see how she does. If she does good this week, I'm never going to pick a game again. I'm always just going to go to her.
And you can't use that as an excuse. Like,
no, if I lose, then I lose.
You got it.
Whatever.
It's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Good.
I'll still use her maybe, though. I bet you she does better than 4-4.
Well, what's her record right now?
She's 4-0.
4-0.
She told me the Colts were going to win last night, and they did. So, you know what? I'm going to trust her.
All right. Well, you want to start off with your first game?
I will.
Okay.
I have the...
There it is. Oh. Okay.
Titans at the Commanders.
Yeah.
And let's title this, Are They Good? Question mark.
Which team are you talking about?
Exactly. Are the Titans good?
It's a great question.
I don't know. Are the Commanders good? I don't know. They both show flashes every now and then.
Yeah.
So it's not like a... I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be good or not. Carson Wentz with the Commanders, first 2 weeks, looked like a stud.
Yeah.
Looked like the man Tom wants him to be.
Yep.
And now the last 2 weeks, he's kind of...
floundered just a little bit.
Down a little bit.
Yep.
So, I don't know. And then the Titans, Derrick Henry started out really slow.
Yeah.
He's kind of picked it up the last couple weeks.
Their passing offense isn't still not there, though.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Who's good, who's not? The Vegas folk have the Titans favored to win by 1.5.
Really?
So it's close.
Okay.
Some starts and sits. You gotta start Derrick Henry.
You're always gonna start Derrick Henry.
He's just your person.
Even if he's struggling, you have to start him.
I think Tannehill is struggling. I'm not starting him.
No.
If you have him, I don't know what the chances are somebody having.
Another phone call. At least it was on silent this time.
Nice. But he's got 700 passing yards, only 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, which isn't it. 5 and 3 is not bad. Well, I'm not saying that's bad.
Yeah,
but the yards are a little low.
Well, those stats, I think. I'm not going to try to say that he's not at fault for all of it, but he has nobody. Nobody.
Right.
Traylon Burks is probably his best option.
Right.
And I think he's questionable this week.
I believe so because he got hurt last week.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm not sure if he's sitting or not. I would say start him if he wasn't questionable. Like if he was healthy.
Yeah, but being questionable, that's a tough call.
Robert Woods, for some reason, he's just not relevant, and it sucks because I love Robert Woods, but he's just not relevant.
He did pretty good last week.
He did.
I'd say if Treylon Burks is out, or if he's iffy, which looks like he might be a little iffy, I'd start Robert Woods.
Yeah.
If you had to start someone from the Titans,
yeah,
I think that'd be your guy.
Okay. He would have to be.
Yeah, he missed practice yesterday.
Who's Treylon Burks?
Yeah.
Treylon Burks? Okay.
You're probably going to start Robert Woods if you need to.
Yeah.
If you have Robert Woods. I don't know. That for them, that's really it. They don't have... I mean, they have Austin Hooper, but...
See, I don't think he for some reason, he's not looked at. He has so much skill as a receiving tight end.
Yeah.
But... for some reason, the last few years, I feel like he's been ignored that way.
Yeah. On the other side of the ball, for
start everybody. No, I'm joking.
I think you'd be okay to start Carson Wentz.
I think he is one of the better quarterback options this week. Tennessee's pass coverage, I think, is in the bottom 5, worst in the league.
Yeah.
Close to it, I think. And Carson Wentz's receiving core, even with one possibly not playing, I like his offensive weapons.
Yeah. I do not think Brian Robinson is back yet, so obviously keep sitting him.
Yep.
So your safe bet if you need a running back to start from Washington would be Antonio Gibson.
No.
Just because of his receiving ability.
I disagree.
And he's the...
Who's the other wide receiver?
JD.
Or the running back?
JD.
McKissick. So he catches just as much Antonio Gibson. If you look, I guess
he does have more receptions, but they're giving Antonio the ball more for rushing. He's gotten...
But if you look...
3 times the attempts.
If you look the last 4 weeks, Antonio Gibson, I think, had 60%, 60 to 70% of the load the first game of the year. It dropped to 50, and then it dropped to 40, and then it dropped between 35 and 40 last week. He is losing production, and he's losing his chances to have that ball. I'm losing faith in Antonio Gibson.
I think he's...
Because with McKissick catching the ball out of the backfield just as much as Antonio Gibson, I almost think McKissick is a better option.
He could be, but Antonio Gibson has 2 rushing touchdowns, so he's at least got the touchdowns to his name. McKissick doesn't have any.
That's true.
So in those downs, I think Gibson's going to be the favorite, but that's for now. That's not when Brian Robinson comes back. If he's good to go, I think he's your starter.
So you think? I mean, this is kind of like a first. You're saying start Antonio Gibson. I think you start McKissick.
I think if you have better options
start
than either of them, start them.
Agreed.
But if you need a running back and you have one of them on your bench, or for some reason you have both, I don't know.
Ugh.
I'm picking Gibson over McKissick.
Okay. All right.
Just because of the
touchdown. The touchdown possibility.
The possibility is higher, I think, for Gibson right now.
Okay.
Curtis Samuel seems to be a good target for
I love
Carson.
Curtis Samuel.
I've got him, so
I do too. Not in the same league, obviously.
Right.
It'd be weird if we shared the same receiver.
That would be weird. You want him?
What?
Do you want him?
No.
He missed practice this week, though.
Well, it's due to a non-COVID related illness.
Right.
So the dude's got the flu and the poo-poos.
So we'll see if that's a game time decision.
I think he'll play.
It'll be tough though if he plays. How tough is he going to be?
I think since it's not an injury, I think a lot of football players go out there and they just do their best with, even if they're feeling on the downside of sick.
Yeah.
I think he's a good option still to play.
I think he is. If he still doesn't feel 100% though, which you guys can pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Come Sunday, I think if you need somebody because he's out and you've got a space to pick up somebody,
Yeah.
you could pick up Dotson.
Is he playing?
He should be, right? No? Did he get hurt?
I thought he
is. Oh, no. You're right. They're screwed.
Because I think out of the three wide receivers, he's the one that's not playing.
Yeah, start McLaurin.
I feel so bad because Scary Terry, people drafted him in like the first 3-4 rounds probably.
Yeah.
And he's been the least productive out of the three wide receivers.
You know where he needs to go?
Where?
Indy.
If you can make that happen. You want to make a phone call?
I might call him up.
Because Washington's not necessarily using him, and Indy needs him.
Hey, I could use him.
Whoa, what? Okay.
I don't know. That's really it.
Okay.
You could probably, honestly, with the lack of offensive production, start both defenses.
Possibly.
And be safe, probably. It'd be a little tougher, though. I think they're going to at least put up points.
I think Tennessee's defense is riskier than Washington's defense.
Yeah, because I think if I had to pick between Carson and Ryan, I'd probably pick Carson this year. He definitely looks better than Ryan.
Yeah.
I think Ryan's on the downhill to where
they're
going to bring the rookie in at some point.
I agree.
Like they could see what they have, but
they need production in that offense besides Derrick Henry.
Right.
So who do you got winning?
I have the Titans winning.
Nope.
And my wife picked the scores, by the way. So I had my daughter pick the teams.
Oh, boy.
My wife picked the scores.
Okay.
She said 27-23.
Okay. I have, at least it's a close game.
Yeah.
A closer game. I have Washington winning.
Okay.
24-21.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. All right. My game. First game. Fragile as steel. Pittsburgh at Buffalo.
There it is.
Buffalo, the last 2 weeks, have kind of... They played not their best game against Miami, in Miami. And then they played a weird up and down game in Baltimore against Baltimore and did win. So they're 1-1 the last 2 weeks. They looked strong, but not as strong as their first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They're back, baby.
Okay.
Buffalo at home against a Steelers team, I think, that is so confused at what they're supposed to be doing. And I think Buffalo bends that steel and just destroys them.
Buffalo's favored by 14.
Do I have them winning by 14? I do have them winning by 14.
On the dot, 14?
13. Damn.
Okay, I won't tell you anything. I have them winning by 13 as well.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so Pittsburgh. I'm going to put it right here. So Pittsburgh, so they made the decision, and I don't know if it's the right or the wrong decision. They're going to start Kenny Pickett.
I don't think you can say right or wrong.
I know.
It's either Pickett or Mitch. I really hoped Mitch was going to do better this year, but
yeah,
he's definitely on the struggle bus.
But I don't know everything that I've seen from Mitch. I don't know if it was as bad as Kenny Pickett last week.
10 for 120 and 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
But everyone's big on Kenny Pickett because he had that
2 rushing touchdowns?
Rushing touchdown. Yeah, the 2. They were like, he's the next big thing. Wait, this man just... I mean, granted, he had only 3 incompletions, but those 3 incompletions were interceptions.
So he might add a spark to the offense, and that might be what it is.
Maybe that's what they need.
Yeah. So, and that's why I'm not saying it's the wrong or the right decision. But it worries me that if your team... The difference between someone like Kenny Pickett, and he's a rookie, so the comparison's a little not fair, but the difference between Kenny Pickett and Josh Allen does run in touchdowns, maybe a little too often.
Yeah.
And yes, that team relies on Josh Allen a lot.
Yeah.
The difference between the two is Josh Allen carries that team because he's the leader of that team. He knows that, as good as Stephon Diggs is, as good as Gabriel Davis is, that offense can be, he knows that offense is only as good as he is.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett, at least in the last game that I saw when they started him, he's like more worried about his touchdowns rather than the team gaining a W. Because, yeah, you got your 2 rushing touchdowns. You had Najee Harris in the back.
Yeah.
He can eat too.
He's only got 1.
But you threw 3 interceptions. You didn't help your team at all. You just made yourself look good, not your team, in my opinion. Now, that's based off of half of a game, because I think he only went in like second quarter or halftime.
Yeah, it wasn't the full game. So
yeah. So this week he might come out and look better. Like, he might be that spark. But based off of what I saw, I wasn't impressed. So, and plus the receiving core, I'm still not impressed by it. George Pickens is probably the best out of the 3. But he's still a rookie and learning.
Yeah.
Najee Harris has struggled. The Pittsburgh defense has struggled without TJ Watt.
Yeah.
This game script has everything going against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And everything going for Buffalo. I think you can start Buffalo's defense.
Yeah.
I think you could start Devin Singletary. I think you could start, like, Gabriel Davis, Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, obviously.
Yeah.
You can start Devin Singletary. He's become their number 1 option at running back, and he has done well the last 2 games.
He just needs a little more production.
I agree. I think this game he doesn't do any worse than he has in the last 2 weeks.
But at least he's a part of the receiving game.
He is.
So that helps him.
Yeah. So I think you're safe playing a lot of Buffalo's bits and pieces.
I think you sit Dawson Knox.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I think you have to.
Why?
Less than like 8 or 9 fantasy points per game.
Per game.
No touchdowns yet.
Well, you have to. So yes.
So
but there's only tough. 2 or 3 tight ends that are getting more than that every week.
I think you can still find better.
Probably. Can you? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Okay. In fact, I'm probably going to mention one here in a little bit. Sorry.
It's okay.
But, and then sit, I honestly have on my notebook, sit every Pittsburgh Steeler. Including, and my wife was so upset. She has Najee Harris.
Yeah.
And I kept on telling her, I was like, Najee Harris is a first-round pick. Like, you're never going to sit him regardless of how bad he looks.
Right.
You're always going to start him. She's like, no, fuck that dude. He's not giving me anything. And she was like, I'm going to start Nyheim Hines because Jonathan Taylor's out. He's projected just as much as Najee Harris. I'm going to switch him. And then Karma kind of, yeah, she was upset.
Mad. Yeah, 100%.
But I can see why she wants, at least this game, I could see why she would want to sit Najee Harris. He hasn't produced anything, and he's going against the top 5 defense in the league.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't recommend sitting Najee Harris, but at the same time, I don't think I would give you a weird look if you did.
I can respect that.
Yeah. So that's what I got. Hopefully she's not mad at me for calling her out for sitting Najee Harris. She's probably going to be mad at me.
That's okay.
No, she's not. Buffalo over Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
27?
No.
27-14.
Dang it.
What'd you get?
30-17.
Dang it.
Golly.
Darn.
I thought that was it.
Dang it.
All right.
Next game
I got Detroit at New England.
Yeah.
Has Bill found his man?
No.
I don't know. Did you see
Zap? Are you talking about Zap?
Zap doesn't look too bad. He looked pretty good last week.
He did.
I'll give him that.
Did you? So before you continue, when I saw Zap playing, I thought Mac Jones was out there.
Mac Jones has struggled, and up until he got hurt.
Yep.
And then boom, they're like, "Oh, we got Brian Hoyer. Bring him in." Mm-hmm. Okay, what does freaking Zap do? He comes out. Granted, not a lot, but he wasn't in the whole game. He wasn't in a lot. 10 of 15, 99 yards, and a touchdown, and no turnovers.
So even though we didn't see a lot of Brian Hoyer, I think Zap, out of the three, from what we've seen, has looked the best out of the three.
I say play him. Okay, don't start him. That's a joke.
Well,
but
you're saying New England play him.
They need to, which they will.
Fantasy, don't start him.
Don't start him.
Gotcha.
But maybe Bill found his new guy. Doubt it. I feel like it's still Mac's team.
Yeah.
But
I think we like Zap, but I think Bill and the organization have put so much into Mac that they're going to stick with Mac.
Yeah.
But I was impressed with Zap.
100% you start Jared Goff. He's playing like an animal.
Yeah.
He's
the
playing
Pats'
like a
defense
lion.
is pretty good, though.
That's okay.
Okay.
I say you start him.
Okay.
The only issue is he does not have St. Brown back this week. I think St. Brown has been missing practice.
And I think Swift isn't coming back either.
Right, which is fine. So if you have Williams, he was taking a bulk of the rushing anyway, it seemed.
Yeah.
I think you start him. 6
you
touchdowns
start Jamal
on the
Williams.
ground.
Yep.
100% start.
Yep.
TJ Hawkinson, until he doesn't produce.
Holy goodness.
You start that man.
He put like over 40 fantasy points last week.
Yeah. I'd say, I mean, he didn't do anything like that the weeks before, but I still think without St. Brown,
they're
going to get him involved again.
Who's the other wide receiver? Is it Josh Reynolds?
Yes.
Are we starting him?
Yes.
Okay.
I would. Okay. Especially if St. Brown is 100% out.
Okay.
Because then Reynolds kind of moves into that. He's that guy.
He is, yeah.
So I like those guys. On the Patriots is a little tough because I still don't know who their favorite running back is between Harris and Stevenson.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is.
So I honestly don't like a lot of players to play from the Pats.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I think as a team, they still put up a good fight. So it's like obviously someone's got to score if they're going to keep up with Detroit.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge fan of any of their players.
Yeah, I agree.
Jacoby Myers, I think, is out. He would have been my pick.
Nelson Aguilar has been doing pretty good.
I don't like Nelson Aguilar.
I know, but he's their best receiver right now.
Devontae Parker?
Second. Aguilar's got 14 receptions to Devontae's 8, 230 yards to 190. They both have a touchdown, but they're kind of similar.
Okay.
It's
Jacoby would have been the favorite, but if he's out, those two are...
And it's tough to know who Zap wants to throw to.
Well, do we remember who he was throwing to mostly when he came in?
No, I didn't watch that game. I don't care about the Patriots.
True. I just remember seeing Zap and thinking he looked identical to Mac Jones.
Yeah.
But I don't remember who he was throwing to because I don't care.
Right.
All right, well, you got anything else?
Nope.
Who's winning?
The Lions.
I got the Lions winning too.
Our score is not the same.
Oh.
My wife picked 19-13.
I'm sorry, what?
19-13.
19.
19-13.
19.
19-13.
Okay. Well, I also have the Lions winning.
Nice.
I think like I said, I think the Pats have actually a pretty decent defense.
Yep.
Their offense obviously has been in shambles a little bit. I don't think they're a good team anymore, but I do think they're trying their best.
Yeah.
But Detroit, they're on the verge, man. They're on the verge of being who they want to be.
If they get a defense, they'll be good.
If they get help for Aiden Hutchinson,
they'll be good.
And if they get all their healthy players back,
they'll be good.
Like they could threaten like the Packers and the Vikings. They really could.
Yeah.
So I actually do really like the Lions to overcome that Pats defense. 27-21.
Nice.
All right. Speaking of the Packers, overseas upset.
Okay.
In London, primetime game at 9:30.
9:30 a.m. Sunday morning.
Sunday? Yeah.
Sunday
morning. The Giants at Packers, because Packers are considered the home team, even though they're both in London. I never understood how they did that. They're both away teams. No one has an advantage. But Giants at Packers. Overseas upset. Excuse me. I think the Packers, even though they have shown a little bit of more promise in the last week, maybe 2 weeks, to kind of finally find their rhythm.
Okay.
I'm not buying that it's fully there. I know Aaron Rodgers has finally kind of found a little bit of chemistry with one of his receivers in Dobbs.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. Once again, start one of them, start both of them. I don't know. One of them's going to do something. The other probably be doing something as well. I have a gut feeling that this is going to be one of those games where Aaron Rodgers gets frustrated and things don't click. Did you hear what he said?
No.
He said that the receiving core that he has now might make him retire mid-season. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he said. Just add another thing to the list of why I hate Aaron Rodgers.
He's not wrong.
He's a douchebag.
I mean, who does he have?
That's not the point.
It is.
I mean, he might not have Devontae Adams caliber wide receivers, but he has gifted wide receivers he could throw to. But as the leader of your team and the quarterback that you have, you should never put your wide receiver core on blast like that. He's not this magical man. He's one of possibly the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL. Absolutely. But don't let that get to your head, in my opinion. And I think he's letting it get to his head the last 2 seasons, and he is such a douche about it. And he's irritating me. I used to hate Tom Brady, but then he moved to Tampa, and I saw something a little different. I was like, oh, there seems to be a little bit of personality and humanity in that man that maybe I didn't recognize because he played for the Patriots.
Yeah.
So my hate for Tom Brady, I had respect for him, obviously, but my hate for him kind of dwindled. Aaron Rodgers, I used to like him until all of a sudden he started showing his true colors. He's a jackass.
Maybe he should leave Green Bay.
Maybe he should leave the NFL altogether. Retire. No one would miss you.
Hey, I don't think he's wrong, though.
What, that is receiving core?
Yeah. Matt Ryan's about to retire at halftime next week.
Matt Ryan?
Yeah.
Well, dude, he looks so old and crusty.
See? Maybe they'll both retire.
Maybe. I don't know. That's just me going off on my little tangent. I'm over Aaron Rodgers and his little crying baby bullshit. Anyway. The Giants, though, they're on the opposite side of that. Man, they got a spark. They got something. They're feeling it. They're feeling good. They're sitting at 3-1.
Yeah.
Now, eventually, that's probably gonna crash down a little bit
this week.
But I think they got one more game. If this was in Green Bay, if it was actually in Green Bay,
yeah,
I think I would choose Green Bay. But since it's in London and really no team has the advantage, I think Brian DeBall, Saquon Barkley. I think they pull magic out of a hat again, and I think they pull out the upset.
Okay.
I just have a gut feeling. you're gonna start Saquon.
Duh.
You're gonna start Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
Yeah,
they're the best weapons on that team.
They're 50-50.
Yeah,
splitting everything, and they're both getting production.
You could start Dobbs. He's as of right now Rodgers' favorite wide receiver, I think.
Yeah.
So I think the Giants are going to win, but I also said sit the Giants defense.
Just because.
I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Okay.
And then also Daniel Jones. Now, he might play a decent passing game.
If he plays.
But if he does play, he might still be too hurt to
move around, run
the ball like he's used to. So I would definitely be weary of that. You might have to sit him. He might I think he's going to do enough to help his team win. But be weary fantasy-wise because he might not be 100%.
I wouldn't start Daniel Jones.
I agree. But yeah, in an overseas upset, I have the Giants beating the Packers by a field goal, 17-14.
I picked the good old Packers to win. Well, I didn't pick, but I would have picked the Packers.
I know you would have.
And the score my wife picked is 33-21.
Why is she picking weird scores?
I like it.
Okay. 33 and 19. Goofball.
Hey, it happens, right?
You know, she'll be right. We'll look like we have eggs on our face when she's right.
Right.
What's your next game?
I have the Dallas Cowboys at the Rams.
Yep.
Title it Rush.
I was thinking, so I had the similar title. I was going to say Gold Rush, but yeah.
But I'm titling it Rush
Uh-oh.
in two ways. Do you start Cooper Rush? Like the Cowboys, as in the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Not fantasy. Yes. But you also title it Rush. I feel like Dak is trying to rush back to become the starter.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys are rushing to put Dak back in. I think you start the hot hand and you keep going until this man shows that he is not winning games.
I completely agree.
I don't care if people think he's being saved by the defense or this, that, the other. I think Cooper Rush is your guy until he shows he's not your guy.
Cooper Rush has looked good.
Remember when Tony Romo was a starter and then, here's this young stud, Dak. Yeah. What happened?
They switched.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because it's Dak Prescott doesn't mean
he's immune.
You have to jump into this man.
Yeah. Do you know when Dallas's bye week is?
You think that's when they'll make the switch?
I don't know if that's when they will make the switch, but I would like to make an argument that's when they possibly should make the switch, depending on when it is.
Week 9. They have the Rams, Eagles, Lions, and Bears. But Cooper Rush is 3-0 this year. Keep it going.
So let Dak heal for 2-3 more weeks.
Let him heal for 4. Who cares?
Well, okay, so I think you could wait until the bye week to bring Dak back.
Yeah.
If you wanted to bring him back before the bye, Chicago is a safe bet to start him, I guess.
Yeah.
But why? Cooper is doing great.
He is.
I remember when we made intermission. We have kids too, so people got to be parents and parenting children, and they're just running amok. So intermission, folks. Kids rule the world, right, Kluge? We're trying our best, right?
Rush. That's the title.
All right, intermission over. I just don't understand. Cooper Rush has proved that he can start and win. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's looked great. He's beat good teams, hasn't he?
No.
Oh, I thought he beat at least one good team.
I mean, the Bengals, if they're good this year.
I think they are. I think that's worth stating that he's beat them.
But in week 2, and then he beat the Giants, and then the Commanders. So
Okay,
not
so-
elite teams, but
Well, hang on a second.
he's winning.
Those are 3 teams. The Bengals, I think, are good. I think they were struggling, yes, but I think they are a good team. They are the past AFC champions from last year. He beat them. The Giants, they only have 1 loss. They're 3-1, and that's by Cooper Rush. Washington, we were just talking about how we think they might be a good team. Maybe not like the best team, but a good team that will fight you till the end of the game. I don't think those 3 games that he's won is anything to laugh about. Now, has he beaten a team like Buffalo? No. Baltimore? No. Packers? No. But this week, they play the Super Bowl champs, the Rams. Arguably, are they on the same page as they were last year? Who knows?
No.
But I'm all in on Cooper Rush, man.
I mean, yeah. You start him until
He doesn't produce.
he debacles.
I agree. What players you got starting?
CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
You could start Zeke. I feel like it's safe.
You think so?
I think it's safe.
Okay.
I don't think it's awful.
You want to sit Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
Once again, I will repeat this for a specific individual. Sit Tony Pollard. Continue.
Start Cooper Kupp, best receiver in fantasy this year.
Yep.
Hands down. Right
In
now.
fantasy?
Right now, yeah, he's number 1.
What's Diggs at? 2? Damn. Okay.
I'm not starting a running back from the Rams again.
Yeah.
It's tough. Higbee, though. Higbee's looking like a good tight end option.
I'm still starting Allen Robinson. I know he has it.
He has
So this is
9 catches for 95 yards.
I know.
I-
I just believe in him. Now this is kind of seeping less into from fantasy and more into personal belief. He is a really good wide receiver, and he is in the perfect position to do well on that team. I don't know why he's not getting looked at. I'm gonna say keep starting him because I do believe that will happen eventually. But
I'm going to sit him.
if you do sit him, I'm not gonna blame you. But I still believe. I have another start.
Go for it.
I think you start Noah Brown.
Okay.
I think he is coming up past Michael Gallup as the next wide receiver in Dallas.
Yeah.
He's got, I think, more touchdowns than I don't know if he's got more than CeeDee Lamb, but the production is there, and especially since Cooper Rush started.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush and Noah Brown have a really good chemistry, and I think you're safe to start Noah Brown.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Are you about to say who was
7-point difference.
I don't know.
Cowboys
Yep.
win
Yep.
27-20.
Oh! Cowboys win 27-17.
Oh my gosh, what were you doing? Why didn't you say 20?
I don't want to lie. It's written
Oh
down.
my gosh.
I think the Rams keep struggling.
Yeah.
And I think Cooper Rush keeps on rushing.
That's why it's titled Rush.
Rush. All right. Hometown upset. Here we go. You ready?
Go for it.
Not overseas. This is hometown, baby. Hometown upset. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Tom Brady will always find a way to win games. He has done it for 20 years. He's made teams look like they're high school teams. And then when he's from behind, he can always come from behind and win. And, Tom Brady is the GOAT. But without Giselle, who is he?
Still Tom Brady.
Without Giselle? Without love? Without his family?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. How many rings does Giselle have? Right. Okay. And how many rings does Tom Brady have?
One less because of Giselle leaving his ass.
Oh well. That's a.
How long have him and Giselle been together?
I don't know, a long time.
Since he started getting rings.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
He still has more rings by himself.
She might have been the magic behind his eyes.
Or maybe it makes him mad and he goes for 500 yards.
Have you seen the way he's been playing? He has not been playing well.
I mean,
last week he actually did fairly well.
1,058 yards, 6 touchdowns, and an interception. I take it.
He doesn't look good. The stats, okay, yes. He's statistically fine. But you can watch him and see that he's not playing the same.
Yeah.
And Atlanta's defense is sneaky good. That's why I have Atlanta doing a little sneaky upset. I do. I know. You think I'm crazy. I just think that this is the game. Tampa could win the rest of the games after this game, and I wouldn't be surprised. This goes back to my other game with the Giants and the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
This is upset week.
Okay.
There's so many mental boundaries and mental brick walls that people are having to overcome that I think haven't really been seen in seasons in past.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is still human. I think he gets under his own skin with everything that's going on. He doesn't play as well as he has in years past. He still has great weapons, but Atlanta's defense is sneaky good.
Okay.
I do think that Atlanta pulls the upset.
Okay.
You're still going to start Mike Evans.
Chris Godwin.
He's coming back for real.
That's what I heard.
Start Chris Godwin.
Yep.
That might change my mind. It's not going to, though. I got to stick to my guns.
There you go.
I got to stick to my guns. Start Drake London.
Okay.
Start Algier, not Algier.
Algier.
Because Patterson is on IR, I believe.
IR. He's done.
That sucks. And I'm going to say this. He has not given you anything. He hasn't given you anything all season. This game right
Marcus?
here. No. This game right here, he scores a touchdown. I'm calling it.
Kyle Pitts.
I'm calling it.
Okay.
He wakes up and gets you a touchdown in this game.
Okay.
You're going to sit Brady and Mariota, though.
I think you could start Mariota possibly, and I think you start Brady for sure. Yeah.
I think game script says you should start Brady.
Yeah.
But I'm just going off of my gut instinct.
Okay.
Upset week.
Okay.
That he has a really mental breakdown on the field this week and doesn't have a great game.
Okay.
And I think you're safe. Maybe not safe. I would start. I would sit Brady.
Okay.
The people are going to go crazy. But it's just sometimes your sixth sense tells you things.
Right, but wasn't he dead in Sixth Sense?
That's the twist.
All right, exactly.
That's the twist. You're so stupid. I have Atlanta winning 21-17. Is it the same score, just a different team? Okay.
Peyton picked Tampa. Allie said 24-20.
That's a little bit more of a normal score.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
All right. I know. People are screaming at me right now. That's my what do you want to call it? Dark horse pick of the week.
Okay. I mean,
even though I picked the Giants over Packers as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel crazy this week. Last game. What you got?
Las Vegas at Kansas City. Let's title it.
Title it. I don't like that.
Close.
But no Derek Carr.
No.
Oh,
Just
okay.
close.
Just close?
Just close.
Okay.
I think it's a closer game than some people think it will be.
Oh, then we definitely didn't have the same score.
Well, I mean, I didn't. This is what I think.
Yeah.
Just, Monday Night Football, 7-point spread. That's what Vegas has. But Vegas doesn't mean anything sometimes. I don't know. I'm just going to jump into it.
Okay.
Start Josh Jacobs.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think he found his groove?
I think you start him.
Okay.
You're always going to start Devontae Adams and Darren Waller.
Has Darren Waller done anything this season? I haven't really been paying attention. I
He's
feel
okay.
like he's been kind of forgotten.
He's a little off, but
Okay.
16 catches, 170 and a touchdown. It's okay. I think he still finds his groove.
Okay.
I mean, if you have him, you're going to start him. That's how
Absolutely.
obviously, Patrick. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire
Yep.
is a starter this week.
Yep.
And
Kelsey.
obviously Kelsey.
Yep.
Juju's showed flashes though. I think Juju, if Juju can get the touchdowns, he'll be good. He just doesn't have the touchdowns right now.
I agree. I think Juju, without touchdowns, is a good flex
Okay.
play because he's good for like 8 points at like approximately at least. But if he were, like you said, if he were just to get the touchdowns,
Yeah.
he'd be a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 every
Yeah.
week. So I'm okay with that.
That's
What
a lot.
about MBS? Because people want that to happen.
I don't think it will.
Okay.
I'm
Do you
saying
think he
no.
should sit?
Yeah.
Okay. Sit Sky Moore.
Well, yeah, he hasn't done shit.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. Sit his ass. That's going to be my mulligan. Because I think we're going to give each other 3. I just decided. 3 mulligans.
Okay.
Half the year episode if we have one. 3 mulligans each, and that's definitely one of them for me.
Okay.
This is good. This is probably going to be like an offensive battle.
Could be.
Do you start Derek Carr? Yeah, look at your stats. How's he doing? You gonna start him? Ooh.
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna start Patrick Mahomes, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That one was easy. But who's gonna win?
The Chiefs.
Yeah, I have the Chiefs winning too.
Ali picked 21-17.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's a.
I think it could be higher. I think I'd probably add 10 to each side, so I'd probably pick 31-7 or 31-27.
See, that would have been closer to my score.
Yeah.
I have Kansas City winning 31-21.
Ooh, would have been real close.
Yeah. All right. So,
The last game.
Sunday Night Football, right?
Yep.
You don't have to pay. Don't worry about it. That's the name of it. You don't have to pay. Never
Okay.
mind. Bengals at Ravens. So in the offseason, Lamar Jackson thought he was the next Tom Brady, and he wanted a contract. Basically, he wanted Deshaun Watson money.
Yeah.
And Deshaun Watson didn't deserve that money. But Lamar Jackson, he's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if he deserves that money.
Okay.
He doesn't have an agent, so he's representing himself, which cool. I don't know anything about that, how smart he is when it comes to that stuff. That's on him. But I feel like that's ballsy, maybe a little too cocky of him to do that. He has played well this season. But he has not played as well as his MVP season. He didn't play as well as his MVP season last year. If your best was your MVP season and you haven't lived up to that, as good as you might have played, you haven't lived up to that the last 2 seasons, why do you expect to get paid to be the most paid quarterback in the NFL? I think he's in over his head when it comes to thinking how good he is. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not even saying he's not that good.
Yeah.
I think he needs a reality check.
Okay.
I'm not paying you if you throw an interception in the end zone to a game that we should have won last week.
So then you're not...
I'm relying on you because the defense against Buffalo, I don't trust them. So I'm putting the trust on you, Lamar. You want to get paid? Show me that you want to get paid and win this game for us right here, right now. And he threw an interception. That was the worst thing he could have done, was thrown an interception in the end zone. It would have been 10 times better if he just would have thrown it away, because the team could have just kicked a field goal and then you just hope that your defense can hold Buffalo.
Some would say an interception in the end zone isn't the worst thing in a regular season game, because it could happen in a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, Russell, you're throwing all this shade at Lamar, but you got Russell.
Oh, did Russell throw shade at Lamar?
No, I'm saying you're throwing shade at Lamar.
Oh, I am.
You got a guy like Russell Wilson who's doing it on the regular now.
But he's not getting paid like Lamar wants to get paid.
But he did get paid.
That is true. The way he's playing, he doesn't deserve that money.
Right. At least Lamar's got stats this year. At least Lamar's putting up good numbers.
I just don't think the amount of money that he wants. I'm not saying don't pay him. I think he does deserve to get paid.
Yeah.
I just don't think from the last 2 seasons, from his MVP season, he necessarily deserves that money that he's asking for.
Okay.
I mean, Baltimore, what's their record?
2-2.
2-2. You're 2-2 in a division with the Bengals. Cleveland is number 1 in the division. You want to get paid? You throw an interception in one of the most important games in the week and / the season, and you let Buffalo come back 17 points, and you don't put up any points in the second half? You want to get paid?
You got to pay him. He's different. He's Michael Vick.
I'm not saying don't pay him. I'm saying, is he worth as much as he wants?
Maybe a little less, but he's different.
I don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I agree. I think he is an amazing athlete, a good quarterback. He is worth paying for as your franchise quarterback. But I don't think he should let his cockiness blind him from how much he should or should not be getting paid. Now, the reason why I bring this up, I almost got off track. He's going against a division rival, the Bengals, this week.
Yep.
Against another really good quarterback, Joe Burrow. Now, he's struggled the past 2 weeks. Not the past 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks.
Yep.
But Joe Burrow, he's a good quarterback. If this is a very important game, not just for Baltimore, but for Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson wants to get paid, he needs to show that he deserves that pay that he wants against this division rival in a very important game when it comes to standings. I don't think he does.
Okay.
I think Cincinnati will be able to slow Lamar Jackson down, and I think Joe Burrow goes off.
Okay.
They're two great quarterbacks.
Right.
I think Joe Burrow shines, and I think Lamar Jackson gets in his own way, thinking about the money and less about the football game, and struggles.
Okay.
That's just my opinion, though.
Okay.
I think you start a lot of the Bengals players. Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, especially since T. Higgins probably won't be playing.
Probably not.
I think Hayden Hurst is a great tight end that might still be on your waiver wire. If he is,
to pick up,
I would pick him up because he is producing. I would say, I think the last 2 weeks, like 7 to 10 points per game.
Okay.
Like, he is decent. Like, he is pretty good. So I would start him. Obviously, you're going to start Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
There ain't no reason. My argument towards him isn't that he's going to suck.
Yep.
He is going to give you points this week. I just think he struggles and loses this game.
Okay.
So start Lamar. Andrews, you're going to start.
Yep.
Mark Andrews.
Yep.
I'm still going to say sit on the Duvernay.
Yeah.
If you had to choose between the two wide receivers to start and sit, I still like Bateman more than Duvernay.
He gets more targets.
Yeah. I know I said this last week. I said sit J.K. Dobbins, and he went off and had a really good game. I think you sit J.K. Dobbins.
I think you start him.
You think so?
Yeah. I think the Bills' defensive line is tough, and he was able to get a rushing touchdown. Yeah, granted, he only had 40 yards, but...
Yeah. Well, I think he's touchdown reliant.
Yeah, but I think he can still get it.
Okay. I don't disagree with that. I just think if he's touchdown reliant, I don't know. I think Cincinnati, there's a good chance. Now, this could have been the game script for last week with Buffalo and Baltimore, but I think Cincinnati is finding themselves. They're getting into a groove. I think they go up, not necessarily by a lot on Baltimore, but I think it's like an offensive shootout, which means J.K. Dobbins has less to do.
Okay.
But he could definitely score a touchdown. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
But, oh man, I just realized this is the 3 out of the 4 games I have the away team winning. I have the Bengals winning against Baltimore.
Okay.
Do you?
On here, yes.
Okay. The difference is by a field goal.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
No?
No.
Bengals, 27-24.
Bengals, 28-27.
And start Justin Tucker.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Best kicker in the league.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just pay Lamar Jackson, but don't overpay him just because he thinks he's the best.
We'll see what they do.
They need weapons. They need better weapons on that offense.
Yeah.
They need better defensive weapons. So how about not taking all the money from your team, and if you really want to be the GOAT, do what Tom Brady did and take pay cuts to help build your team.
Could be.
I'm just saying.
We'll see what they do.
We will see what they do.
Well, you guys did fantastic this week. We've got a couple questions.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited. We got questions.
If you want to start with yours.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I did a shout out to him, Cody, one of my favorite human bears of a human being. Beautiful man that I met in South Korea. And if you're listening, go ahead and let Ashley know I give her a shout out too. I miss and love both of you. But he asked me, it was funny, he messaged me. He was like, hey, your podcast. He's like, you have a YouTube channel too? And I was like, yeah. He's like, what is it? And I was like, it's the same exact thing as the podcast name. Search it, stupid. And he found it, and he was like, don't worry. He's like, I'm going to rate you, and I have a question for you for the show. And I was like, oh, shit, man. Yeah, hell yeah. What is it? And he wants to know, Derek Carr.
Okay.
And we kind of went over this a little bit already, but Derek Carr against Kansas City or Aaron Rodgers against the Giants defense.
Tough.
Because I think Kansas City's defense isn't great as of right now.
Right.
The Giants defense, I think, is better than people expect, but still not, like, superb.
Yeah.
But I do think that Rodgers, like I said before, in my opinion, Rodgers maybe doesn't have the receiving core that Carr does.
Yeah.
Maybe mentally struggles because he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
And the Giants, I think, have a lot more worth fighting for, which makes them maybe play a little bit better on the defensive side.
Okay.
Whereas Kansas City's defense, they could suck all day long, and Patrick Mahomes will dig them out of that hole. So I think Carr has more. I honestly say take Carr, I think.
I'd probably start Carr this
Yeah.
week.
I think Carr's the better option just because regardless of how good or not good their offense is doing, Carr throws a lot.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is kind of slowed down at throwing, especially since he doesn't trust any of his receivers. They've kind of gone to a 1-2 punch with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll get more production from Carr through the air than you will Rodgers.
I agree.
Okay.
I'd pick Carr.
Carr, Cody, Carr. What you got?
Javi said he knows it's probably extra work, but could we do timestamps?
What have you been working on this whole time?
Look, I do timestamps every now and then.
Yeah.
I'm taking time now, Javi. You should have it this week.
Copy that. You're so sweet.
He says he drafted 2 running backs from the same team.
Oh, boy.
First mistake.
Yeah. I mean, some people do that as a strategy. I don't like
I
it.
don't like it.
But some people do it.
He said, one got hurt.
Oh,
Should
boy.
I expect an increase from the one that is still playing?
Do we know what team and running backs?
No.
Well,
So-
that makes a difference, though.
I'm going to say, if you have both of them and one is hurt, and say that one is the starter, then yes, you start the other one because he'd probably move up into the starter.
Yeah. So who could it
Maybe
be, though?
it could be the Falcons.
So there's a couple of...
If it's the Falcons and you had Patterson and Algier or whatever his name is.
Algier,
Yeah,
damn
sure.
it.
Whatever. Then yeah, I think you start
Algier.
whatever.
Yes.
Because Patterson's obviously out.
Yeah.
So yes, you expect a work increase. But
Okay, so
I don't
let
know
me
who else it could be.
let me throw a couple out there.
Jonathan Taylor, Naheem
I
Hines,
said let me throw a couple out there.
James Conner. But if you have James Conner, I think you start him this week. I think
So you would have started Naheem Hines. Well, you did start Naheem Hines.
yes, I would have.
So you would have started Naheem Hines if Jonathan Taylor was out.
Yeah, it backfired, but
No.
you don't expect a concussion.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was getting the production.
He was us,
He
yeah.
was going to get it.
You start Tyler Algier if Cordell Patterson's out.
Yeah.
Do you start Khalil Herbert if David Montgomery doesn't play?
Yeah.
Do you start Jamal Williams if DeAndre
Yeah.
Swift doesn't play? Do you start Damian Williams if James Conner doesn't play?
Yeah. Well, that one's questionable. I don't think Damian's the number 2, but
Who is the number 2?
they got somebody else that's running.
Gotcha.
But yes.
I'm trying to think of some other
Yes,
running backs
Javi,
that might
if you
be
have
hurt.
somebody that's hurt, expect a work increase from the other one, and you should probably start the other one.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like a 4th-string running back.
Well, I'm trying to think of a team that might have a running back
We probably named it.
that's useless. In a sense that, like, their number 1 wasn't even close,
Nah.
like, to start worthy. So it's like, would you want to start their number 2 anyway?
Yeah. Next time, Javi,
Be a little bit more specific.
Know.
Yeah. Maybe he was just talking in general sense.
Maybe.
But most of the time, if your number one does give production and they go out, you probably safely start the number two. They might not give you as much production, but it's your best option at that point in time. Yeah. Unless you go to the waiver wire in free agency and see if there's a better possibility.
Maybe. Could be.
Yeah. But
he says also, how do you guys handle players on your team that have a bye week?
That's a great question. I'll let you know when bye weeks start, Hobby.
Ooh, yeah, true.
I'm joking.
I mean, bye weeks are tough if you drafted and you realize you have 4 or 5 starters with the same bye week.
Did you do that?
No.
Okay.
Then you're kind of screwed because you have to find a way to either you just know that week is. I've done that before.
Yeah.
Where I've drafted too many.
Yep.
And I'm like, this week's a wash. I just don't even.
Yeah.
I don't get rid of players because I don't need to.
Yeah.
Whatever. I lost this week and I push it away.
Don't worry about that. I'm very, when I pay attention to the fantasy football draft, I'm very cognizant of bye weeks.
Yeah.
And I try my best to work my way through the bye weeks.
Yeah.
But sometimes players outweigh the bye week, and you have to draft a player that's that good that might have the same bye week as someone else. When it comes to that, you have to be smart. Look at free agency. Look at the waiver wire. Who's not producing on your team on the bench? Can you drop someone that hasn't done anything for you to pick up someone that might be able to produce enough for you for players on their bye week?
Yeah.
Like I had, now bye weeks haven't started, but like let's say I still had Sky Moore because I dropped his ass in one of my leagues.
Smart.
But if let's say I still had him and I needed to put someone in for their bye week, I'm dropping Sky Moore and I'm looking for someone in the free agency / waiver wire that does show production that would give me more than Sky Moore that I can put in my lineup during that bye week. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
or be better about drafting.
Yeah, I mean that's always. I mean
that's
sometimes
a big thing to pay attention to.
Sometimes it's hard to not draft people with the same bye week.
Yeah.
I think your dog is
we
getting
should
murdered.
probably get this done.
All right. Do you have any shout-outs?
Shout out to my wife and my daughter for making my picks.
There you go.
My gosh.
Shout out to life, man. It just comes at you. Shout out to Cody and Ashley. Love and miss you both. And shout out to my wife and the volleyball team. We played really well the other day.
I got a double coming up next week.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
We're both going to be here for that.
Yeah, thank goodness.
So, follow us, 2 Guys 1 Fantasy Podcast on Facebook, Instagram. You can do Twitter. We don't really follow it, but you can do that as well. Listen to us on any of your podcast things.
Yeah.
Rate us, subscribe. Rate. I already said rate, but rate it again. Star.
Double rate.
Double rate.
Up. Yep.
Send questions. We like questions a lot.
Yeah, that's fun.
But, yeah, I think that's... You got anything else?
Nope.
You got a dad joke?
Nope.
You're just in panic mode right now, aren't you?
I am. Something's going on out there.
All right, well, no dad joke because Dad's got to do things right now.
Go do a joke.
You are the dad joke right now.
I am the joke, yeah.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Fun fact, real quick.
Oh, what's up?
Dawson Knox is out.
Oh. Did you just get an update right then and there?
And Kyle Pitts is not spotted at practice today. That's 3 in a row.
Oh, keep an eye out.
Don't start Kyle Pitts.
Oh.
See ya.
Thanks everyone for listening to 2 Guys 1 Fantasy Podcast. Please give us a like, a follow, a subscription on anything. Just look us up on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter at 2 Guys 1 Fantasy Podcast. Thanks.